In the kingdom of Clavendale, nestled in the bosom of rolling hills, lay the enchanting village of Boubourg. This quaint settlement was renowned far and wide for its unparalleled craftsmanship in women's undergarments. But the secret to their success wasn't stitching or tailoring, it was the bra trees of the Bustwood forest. These magical trees bore bras and corsets as fruit, each one growing in perfect size, shape and style. The trees produced an endless variety: lace-trimmed bras for ball gowns, sturdy corsets for knights' wives, and even bralettes for the casual milkmaid. The villagers of Boubourg plucked them with care, singing songs of support and upliftment as they worked. But not all bras were created equal. Deep within the forest stood the fabled Golden Brazier tree, hidden in the heart of the perilous cupwood glade. The bras that grew on this tree were spun from threads of gold and enchanted silk, radiating a mystical glow. Said to mould perfectly to any queen's form and grant eternal comfort, they were the pinnacle of luxury, and the price of one could buy an entire kingdom. However, the Golden Brazier tree was fiercely guarded. Legends spoke of bra dragons whose wings were adorned with lacy patterns that shimmered as they flew, and bra bats, tiny yet ferocious creatures that nested in the tree's branches. The ground below was patrolled by corset crabs, whose pincers could snap steel boning in two, and the tree's roots were said to ensnare the unwary, pulling them into a labyrinth of underwire and silk. One day, a bold adventurer named Sir Tithe of the Tight-Fit arrived in Boubourg, a former knight turned wandering tailor. Sir Tithe had heard tales of the Golden Brazier and vowed to retrieve one, not for riches, but to create a gift for Queen Euphemia of Clavendale, a monarch with a notoriously picky bustline. Only the Golden Brazier will do, for Her Majesty deserves nothing but the best support. Armed with his needle-sharp wit, a pair of enchanted fabric shears and a spool of thread blessed by the village seamstress, Sir Tithe ventured into the Bustwood forest. The villagers watched with a mix of awe and pity, for no one had ever returned from Cupwood Glade. The Cupwood Glade was a surreal and mesmerizing sight, bathed in an ethereal golden light that seemed to seep from the very air. The ground was padded with silky moss that shimmered like satin straps, while vine-like tendrils spiraled upward, blooming into flowers shaped like dainty bras of every style and size, push-ups, balconettes, and even a few sports bras for variety. The trees towered overhead, their trunks crisscrossed with intricate patterns reminiscent of corset boning and underwire. A soft melodic hum filled the glade, rising and falling like the gentle sway of a well-fitted bustline. Yet beneath the harmonious tones was a subtle, unsettling vibration, like the whispered warnings of a misaligned clasp, foretelling peril for anyone daring to approach the Golden Brazier tree. As Sir Tithe ventured deeper into the glade, the melodic hum grew louder, the tones shifting into a discordant symphony. The once inviting light took on a faintly menacing hue, casting flickering shadows across the glade. Ahead, he spotted a peculiar archway of trees, their branches twisted together to form a frame that shimmered with strands of silvery thread. Beyond it lay the heart of the forest, the path narrowing and darkening as if warning him to turn back. But Sir Tithe, clutching his enchanted fabric shears tightly, squared his shoulders and pressed on, his footsteps sinking softly into the moss. It was then that he heard it. A faint fluttering sound, like fabric snapping in the wind coming from the dense canopy above. The bra bats were waking. As Sir Tithe approached the Golden Brazier tree, he faced the guardians one by one. First came the bra bats, their tiny claws sharp as thorns. Sir Tithe threw handfuls of glittering sequins into the air, distracting the bats with shiny distractions as he dashed forward. Next, the corset crabs emerged, their pincers clicking menacingly. Sir Tithe used his enchanted shears to snip through their tough exoskeletons, turning them into harmless corset boning that he pocketed for future projects. But the greatest challenge was the bra dragon, a majestic creature with scales that shimmered like satin and breath that smelled faintly of lavender. The dragon roared, sending waves of air that threatened to flatten Sir Tithe. Undaunted, he fashioned a makeshift sling from a length of silk and launched a perfectly aimed spool of thread into the dragon's jaws. The dragon, enchanted by the soft fabric, purred contentedly and let Sir Tithe pass. At last Sir Tithe reached the Golden Brazier tree. Its branches gleamed, each bra a masterpiece of shimmering gold and sparkling gemstones. Carefully he plucked a single bra, its golden straps warm to the touch and its cups imbued with a soft, magical glow. The forest seemed to sigh in relief, as if acknowledging his worthiness. As he left the forest, the bra dragon followed him like a loyal companion carrying the Golden Brazier on its back. When Sir Tithe returned to Boubourg, the villagers erupted in cheers, their songs echoing through the hills. Queen Euphemia was overjoyed with the Golden Brazier, declaring it the most exquisite undergarment she had ever worn. She rewarded Sir Tithe with riches beyond imagination, but he humbly declined, asking only for the title of Royal Tailor. From that day forth, Sir Tithe became a legend, and the village of Boubourg prospered like never before. The bra dragon made its home in the hills, guarding the forest and ensuring that only the worthy could approach the Golden Brazier tree. And so the tale of the Golden Brazier became a bedtime story told to inspire courage, creativity, and the belief that with the right support, anything is possible.